Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the Magnificent Mags channel. Happy Friday, happy weekend. Hope you've all had a good week at work. Newcastle continue winning. They made it 9 consecutive wins. So yes, it's my pre-match preview for Bournemouth. So let's get into it. Now on this Friday, you join me from the Rising Sun Country Park. Yes, and isn't that appropriate, because in these last 9 wins, the sun has definitely risen on Newcastle's season. It's been a much bright outlook on it. However, the opposite, there's one person that the sun seems to be setting down on, and that is Miggy Almirón. So we'll just get straight into it. It has been reported that Atlanta have come back from now. Charlotte FC, Botafogo, Brazil and Olympiacos, there's all been rumours of them. But it looks like that Charlotte FC have turned their attentions elsewhere. So that means Atlanta United. Keith Downey reported yesterday when he was down Whitley Bay that they'd come in for Manuel Latilath from Borough and obviously our Miggy Almirón. And it looks like his 6 years with us is coming to an end. Now, I know a lot of people are saying it's a weak area of the team, that it's a problem position, so why let someone go when we're still in 3 competitions? Though we're not in the title race, I'll come back to that. Now I understand that, but look, we've got to stop being sentimental. Everyone said for ages we're not a good selling club when it comes to getting rid of players, and it's clear that Miggy's only started 1 game this season. It's proven in only starting 1 game this season, and he's had no impact when he's come on. Eddie's actions speak louder than words. You'll always defend him in his pressers, but his time has come to an end here. And while Eddie said he's training today and he's in the squad for tomorrow, I'm not surprised by that. I think Eddie will want to, if the game is safe, bring him on near the end and give him a St James's Park farewell for a decent 6 years service. Decent, good. It wasn't brilliant, but I'm never going to knock the lad in terms of his effort and his smile. That smile, honestly, it can melt 1,000 chocolate bars. It's been 6 years since we signed him from Atlanta, so it's come full circle that he's going back to America, it seems. But it will be nice. Obviously, the result's the most important thing tomorrow, but if Eddie does get to put him on and he gets a farewell to the home crowd, then that's nice. It'll be good to say goodbye to him. But you've got to admit, taking £10 million from him, you're never going to get a better deal than this. Because in all honesty, he should have went at the end of the 2022-23 season, as I said, when we finished 4th. And I think the club have learned some lessons in not selling him at the end of that season. Probably Callum Wilson too, with his current injury record, although he's meant to be returning for the second leg against Arsenal. And obviously there was interest in Trippier last year. So not that the club I'm not saying the club wanted to get rid of all 3 of them, but I think they've realised that they do need to move players on. And I believe, honestly, it is a risk worth taking because, like I said, he's only started 1 game. When he's come off the bench, he hasn't impacted. Eddie hasn't been using him. So, to me, it's not like we're going to miss him because he hasn't really done anything to begin with. So, at times you forget he's even on the bench until he comes on. So, yeah, it's time to say goodbye, in my opinion. I think, for the good of the club, even if we don't sign anyone, which I don't think we will, I honestly think the club will just keep the powder dry and go again in the summer. Because saying you had the money for Gahey's one thing, but it doesn't mean it's there. You could go out and spend all you like, but you'd get a points deduction. You've still got to sell down the line. So it's all this, get rid of Almirón now. And I know I've been linked with a lot of players. Obviously, one Antoine Semenyo, brilliant player for them. Bournemouth, who come here tomorrow. But honestly, Brian Mbeumo of Brentford. Then we've been linked to Ryan Cherky of Lyon, who've got the financial issues. And then a couple other players, Jonathan David, the Canadian, and then also Bakayoko. But I just can't see Newcastle going for another player in this window. I know a lot of fans mightn't want to hear that, but I just feel that's the case. Be nice if Miggy gets his send-off tomorrow, if we've got the points wrapped up, but it is time for him to move on. And I think we'll have enough to cope without him for the rest of the season, as I've said. Moving on to Lloyd Kelly. Eddie has said, obviously, there has been a lot of noise on that, but it's from Fenerbahce's side, not ours. Lloyd Kelly hasn't given any signal that he wants to leave, and he doesn't want him to leave. Now, if we were to get rid of Lloyd Kelly, would I say that's a bad thing? No, because at best he's looked average. Now, I know there's a lot of rumours of me talking with a lot of people online. Hi, Amy. We've been chatting about it, if you watch this. Yeah, his wages, we've been on about, is he on 150 grand a week now? Again, it's all subjective. It's hearsay. You don't know. It could be true. It might not. But if he is on 150 grand a week, it'd be some fee to shift off the wage bill. You can understand him demand a bit more because he was a free transfer. But I do feel if Lloyd Kelly was to go, again, he's a player that will have a lot of cover for. Because if you look at it this way, he's a left centre-back, and sometimes he could play left-back. But who you got in that position? We've talked about this a lot, but we've got Jamal Lascelles coming back next month. You've got Sven Botman, left centre-back, his position. Another left centre-back, Dan Burn, plays there. Dan Burn can obviously play a left-back where Kelly can. But then you've also got Matt Targett and Lewis Hall. And then Emil Kraft was back in the squad on Wednesday night. So we've got plenty of cover there. But I can understand if it is just Fenerbahce's side and it's Mourinho's club who wants him and it's not ours, then again, Newcastle don't want to let him go right now and potentially weaken the squad just in case any injuries come up. I do understand that, but I think Lloyd Kelly is one I can see moving on in the summer. But that's all I wanted to talk on transfers because there's not much else happening this month in terms of them other than Miggy. Just want to say, by the way, Keith Downey's ice cream yesterday, it looked nice. Looked like he got it from DeMio's in Whitley, and I heard it came straight from North London. The flavour he was having, I believe, was sour grapes. On to my next bit, Karen Carney, her comments saying Newcastle are only up there because of Alexander Isak. Now, I'm not misogynistic. I've got no problem anyone who can be in a position where they do know what they're talking about. Now, this isn't a case where she doesn't know what she's talking about. She does. Again, not the men's game, but she has played professional football. I know it's on many levels down behind the men's game, and there's lots of arguments on that. But I've got no problem if anyone's in a position if they're doing logical comments. Now, I've listened to her before. I haven't got a problem with some things she said, but these comments saying we're just relying on Isak is disrespectful, not only to us, but other clubs in the league. Because look at it this way. She's basically saying, we're only up there because of Isak, and she hasn't really said it, but that's like saying Chelsea are up there because of Cole Palmer, and Liverpool are only up there because of Mo Salah. I'll check this. If you take Alexander Isak out of the team, we would have still got 8 wins and a draw at Spurs out of these 9 wins. He's just one of many parts in a successful team, just like Liverpool. Have Diaz, they have Gravenberch, they have McAllister, they have Szoboszlai. But at Chelsea, they've had Jackson, they've had Palmer, they've had Caicedo, and then us. Going from midfield, you've got Bruno, Joe Linton, Tonali, Jacob Murphy, and Anthony Gordon. So it's disrespectful. Them players, yes, they're getting the goals, and yes, would probably drop a few places if you take the goals out the team, but just said there, we would have still had 8 wins and 1 draw out the last 9 games if you took them out. So, again, disrespectful comment. Nothing to do with that being a pundit. It's just don't come out with comments like that. Anyway, moving on to injury news. Can I get St. James's? There she is. There she is. Right on the hill, ready for tomorrow's early kickoff. What a beautiful sunset here in the rising sun, Wallsend. Look at that. I love living here. Northeast is just stunning. Perfect place to do this pre-match vlog. Now, anyway, time to get on to team news. So, Bournemouth come here tomorrow, as we've said. They're in the early kickoff. Now, surprising stat is Newcastle have won the last 6 12:30 kickoffs in a row. Now, that was a shock to me because normally we're recording the 12:30s as being awful. But injury news, we know Callum Wilson has been confirmed. He's looking likely to come back for the second leg against Arsenal on the 5th of February in 19 days' time. So that could be a timely boost to have him on the bench, supporting Alexander Isak. Just at the top of the pit, EPL, look at that. Look at that for a sunset. It's beautiful. anyway, I'm going to keep walking. So news, Callum Wilson had a thigh injury, same with Harvey Barnes. He's ruled out till around mid-February. Nick Pope, I'll say Jamal Lascelles knee injury. Now Nick Pope, we've had an update on Nick Pope today. He was out with a knee injury. Now he's not going to make tomorrow. Eddie Howe said that's a bit too early for him. So he should be back though in the squad for Southampton next week. So that's good news, that we've got decent goalkeeping cover on there. So that'll be good backup for Martin Dubravka. But as we've said before, he deserves to keep his place at the moment. Hey, look over there. Most of the match day lads live around here. Now, I'll go on to Bournemouth's injury news. Anyway, Bournemouth team news. So, they're missing Evan Nielsen. He's got a metatarsal injury, unfortunate, but he's now out till around the 15th of March. Marcus Barron till the same date with a thigh injury. Julian Araujo around late February with a thigh injury. Same for Marcus Tavernier. He's going to be early February with a thigh injury. Alex Scott and Luis Sinisterra, they're out till the 1st of February. It's a knee injury and a thigh injury respectively. Adam Smith is rumoured to be back tomorrow, but we're unsure of that. Kepa Arrizabalaga, he's back. He was ineligible to face Chelsea on Tuesday because it was his parent club. Enes Ünal and James Hill as well. They're both out and they've got no expected return dates. Knee injury for Ünal and a thigh injury for Hill. Now, a couple of interesting stats. I've got to say, Eddie Howe is just past his 152nd game for Newcastle United as manager. And he's currently, as it stands, obviously that can change and fluctuate depending on how the games go. But he's got 76 wins, so the best win rate at the minute as any Toon manager of 50%. Now, isn't that brilliant? The head-to-head records with Bournemouth. Now, this is interesting. Newcastle United under Eddie Howe have never beat Bournemouth in the Premier League. Now, I know when we had the cup run 2 years ago in 22-23, we played Bournemouth at St James's Park, and if I remember right, we played them in the 4th round, I think it was. Just think that, yes, it was, because I was at every round bar Southampton away in the semis. Because we played Tranmere away. Then it was Palace at home, Bournemouth at home, Leicester at home, and then the 2 legs against Southampton. That was on the 20th of December 2022, so that's how long ago that one was. Now, our home record against Bournemouth is interesting reading. We've played 6, won 2, drew 2, lost 2, and we're actually in a deficit for the goal difference. We've scored 8 and conceded 9. So Bournemouth have been a bit of a bogey team for us. Well, last home win over them as well was the 9th of November 2019, a 2-1 home win. So we haven't beat them too many times. And again, it's equally balanced at St James's Park against them. They're showing how good they are. Now, the Premier League's a bit more of a better reading overall. We've played 13, won 4, drew 6, lost 3. And we've got a positive goal difference, but only by 1. We've scored 19 and conceded 8. So Bournemouth have shown, what a thorn in our side they've been. Now, a couple of other stats. The overall Premier League record is played 20, won 7, drew 6 and lost 6. So, yes, we've beat them in the League Cup at home. Eddie Howe's never beat them in the league as Newcastle manager. But now, an interesting stat. We're going for our 10th consecutive win tomorrow. That would be a club record. We've never done that before. Not under Keegan, not under Rafa, not under Bobby. Now, Bournemouth will be tricky. They're a very good team under Iraola. We're currently 4th on 38 points, looking to go 3rd if we win. Bournemouth are currently in 8th on 34 points, so they're not that far behind us. Now, our first 2 Premier League games against them as well at St James's Park were defeats. We'd played them in 5th of March 2016 and November 2017. Now, sandwiched between that was a 1-0 win down at Dean Court, or whatever you want to call it. It's had that many iterations. But when they came to St James's Park, they'd won 3-1 and they won 1-0. So Bournemouth have been a bit of a thorn in our side lately. Bournemouth have shown they've been a good team. They've got good spirit, a fast style of play, good character, certainly good mental strength. A lot of the games, especially like Everton and Ipswich, they went behind in, but then they've come back. And now a stat that I think they've drawn 4 of the last 6 games, but they are missing their players, as we said, so they've still done well to get results. And 3 of those games, they came back to get draws after they fell behind in. So you've got to give them credit for that. And they've got good players there. They've got Brooks, Christie. They've also got Semenyo, again, a right winger who we've been looking at. Apparently had scouts at their recent game. And also they've got Ouattara. Now he's been good. The question tomorrow for us is, will we play Fabi Shaw or will we stick with Sven Botman and Dan Burn? Now, I feel that's a valid question because that Ouattara and Semenyo, they have got pace. Now, if they are coming up against Burn and Shaw, we know that, well, Botman does have pace. He has only just came back from injury, hasn't he? Now, he's played 3 90-minute games against Spurs, Arsenal, and then on Wednesday against Wolves. So you normally think, would we bring Fabi Shaw in and just rest Botman so we're not overworking him? But as Eddie said, Shaw was being assessed today after his illness and he's still not 100%. So they'll make a call on him, but it's not guaranteed that Shaw will come back into the team. So what I think, he'll probably stick with the same team. He's not want to take risks on someone like Fabi Shaw. So I'd probably think we're going to stick with the same team of Dubravka. 6 clean sheets in 9 games, I've got to say, and that's the whole team and defence who've contributed to that. But credit to Dubravka. That save he made on Wednesday where he deflected Strand Larsen's shot off the bar. Well, post and bar looked like, oh, was it the post? Trying to remember. It's been that many games, my head's fuzzy. But yeah, 16 sheets in 9 games. And then it'll probably still be Tino, Botman, right centre-back, Burn, Hall. And then it'll be the Magic 3, Joe Linton, Tonali 6, Bruno 8. And then the front 3, Gordon, Isak, Murphy. Now, Alexander Isak, he got the club record. He scored in 8 consecutive games. Absolutely brilliant, man. On fire. It is a compliment that other clubs want him. Everyone wants him. But it is irritating again because he's our player. We've set a price tag. And with every goal he scores, I think that £150 million value is going up and up. But it's right not to open contract talks in my feel at the moment because we're in January, he's got till 2028, still over 3 years left. And in this run of form, you don't be distracting him with contract talks because then if his goals dry up, could affect the team and then we'll drop down the league. We don't want that. We just want a concentrated, fit, firing, happy Alexander Isak. And if he continues in this same vein of form, no injuries, the team can get through, win a cup and get Europe. Imagine we've done that. Contract talks will take care of themselves in the summer, so we won't need to worry about that. I never like to talk the defence down, but I do think that they will concede. Just Bournemouth's rich vein of form. I know they're not winning as many as we have, but they're still a dangerous team. They showed that they should have won at Stamford Bridge on Tuesday night. They were so unlucky to concede last minute, performing like that with all their injured players out. But I just think at the moment we've got the best striker in Europe, the world, the Premier League. He's scored 16 goals in 16 games. He's going for a 9th consecutive game which he's scored. I do feel the defence has to be better. It gave up a lot of chances second half to Wolves. Wolves should have scored from some of them. So we were sloppy in possession. So we do need to be better there. Now tomorrow I've just came down onto the path here off the pitch because the sun is going down, so I'm going to walk back to the car. But in 6 consecutive Premier League games at home, we've scored at least 3 goals. Now, isn't that brilliant? And I just feel at the moment we've got such a balanced midfield and we're fit, we're in form, we've got confidence. The only thing the team needs to do now, in my opinion, to go to that next level is find consistency to become that elite team who can go anywhere, whether it's home or away, and just beat teams. Like we showed at the Emirates, we went there and said we're going to win. Teams in the past that went there with a mentality that they'll probably fold, but not this Newcastle team. And I just feel, especially that midfield though, like we've got, well, I'll just say we've got the best striker currently in the world. We've got Murphy playing in his purple patch. We know it could drop off at some point, but he's supplying the goal, especially for Isak. Got the best left winger in the world, I'd say at the moment, certainly in the Premier League, and Anthony Gordon. And midfield's just got such a balance. Now, I feel they're all powerful, but Joe Linton's the battering ram. You've got Sandro Tonali, who's that just defensive linchpin. But he's, like I said, he's always progressive with his passes. He's got so much pace to save in recoveries when teams get one transition. But his passes, he always knows where it's going before it comes to him, so no one can touch him. Bruno's got that freedom to roam in the number 8. So he's got so much freedom at the moment to just could create chances, getting assists. I think he's on 9 now for the season, as he proved that brilliant assist for Alexander Isak's second against Wolves. So yeah, our midfield's just so balanced. Why I feel like Newcastle will go one better tomorrow. Now, I'm not going to predict the goal scorers except one of them, Alexander Isak, will score in his 9th consecutive game. I think Bournemouth will cause problems, especially on transition with the pace. As I said, I've been impressed with them under Iraola. To be punching above the weight like this, it's great for the league, but I want it to be better than we were down there at the Vitality, the first away game of the season. We did get away with one, we were poor, so we need to be better tomorrow, but I always back way at home. I know they're dangerous. It's going to be the hardest game of this run so far. I feel at home especially. That's no disrespect to the teams we had, but the way Bournemouth are playing, they're so dangerous, even with the players they have out. But I feel we'll win 4-1. I always back way at home because we're just a fantastic team. And again, the only home game where we haven't played well in this season, I feel, is West Ham. It's hypothetical, it's all in hindsight, but if we'd won them games against West Ham and Brighton, because we played well against Brighton, they just took the chance we didn't. That's football. The way we are at the moment, I just feel like we've got the best full-backs currently in the country as well. That's no exaggeration, but they're young, they're quick, they're dynamic. We've got rotation, we're midfield so balanced, but they've all got similar characteristics, so they just bounce off each other. We've got energy, we've got purpose, we've got drive and aggressiveness to press from the front. We're full of energy, dynamism, and more importantly, belief. So yeah, that's why I feel tomorrow's prediction will be Newcastle United 4. Sorry, I thought a bike was coming there. Bournemouth 1. Now, one last question I want to end on is what a lot of people have been saying. Alan Shearer mentioned on Match of the Day. Are Newcastle United in the title race? Now, yeah, I've joked about it a couple of times with people, but no. Right now, no. Like, the way our squad is at the moment, I still feel with 3 or 4 players off. We do need another striker to help take the load off Alexander Isak. Now, they are tough to get, especially in January. It is nice to be up there, have the points on the board. As some are joking, only 2 points from safety. That's the old Newcastle DNA. But no, we're not in the title race. Look, we're 9 behind Liverpool. They've got a game in hand. And, well, it's nice to be mentioned in that same conversation. We're not. Look, the only thing that would change my mind is if we keep winning and you get to the end of February, start of March, when it's the business end of the season, when we've played City away, when we've played Liverpool away, because they're coming at the end of February. Well, 3 tough games, actually. Away to City, home to Forest, away to Liverpool are the 3 games that follow the semi-final second leg in Birmingham, the 4th round of the Cup. So if we get to the end of February, start of March, and we're second, and we win a certain points distance of Liverpool, if we win 6 points and they've played their game in hand, then you might be able to start talking about it. But to be honest, no, I still feel we're a pacey right centre-back, a right winger, a good backup striker for Isak, and a long-term number 1 goalkeeper from that. So, yes, I'd like to say we are, but no, let's be realistic, we're not. But anyway, sun's going down. I'm going to go and get the car and go home now and watch the chase. Thank you very much for watching. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, turn on them notifications for the latest content. As I said, I've got a few things in the pipeline and they'll be coming very soon. But for now, enjoy your Fridays, everyone. And I'll see you all on the other side after what I feel will be a Newcastle United win against Bournemouth to make it a club record 10 games. Bye-bye for now.